Even if you are not eating sugar, your body can make it on its own through a process called gluconeogenesis. And that word means exactly how it sounds. Glucose, sugar, and genesis, the creation of or new beginning. Put those two things together, you have gluconeogenesis, the creation of sugar in your body from non-sugar sources, such as protein. Welcome back, Nourished Ones. If you're new here, hi, my name is Shannon. I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and on this channel, we talk about all things related to food, nutrition, and holistic health. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified of every time a new video goes live. We are going to dive into 8 key points to talk about sugar. First, we're going to unravel the mystery of sugar, like what exactly is it? Then we're going to get into uncovering the secret identities of sugar because, as you may know, there are actually many different types of sugars and many different names for sugar. Then we're going to unload what happens in our body when we eat too much sugar and also what happens when we don't eat enough. We're going to go over tips for moderating your sugar intake. And then finally, we are going to dive into the ultimate guide to exterminating your sugar cravings for good. I'm going to be using the term sugar and glucose interchangeably throughout this video, so just keep that in mind. So if you are as excited as I am, give this video a thumbs up and let's dive right in. So what is sugar? Well, sugar is a type of carbohydrate. So in order for you to understand what sugar is, you first need to understand what a carbohydrate is. Many people like to use the word carbs for short. So whether you hear someone say the word carbs or carbohydrate, it means the same thing. There are 3 main types of carbs, and I'm going to simplify it for you. The first are known as simple sugars, also known as monosaccharides in science, if you want to use the scientific term. The second is known as double sugars or disaccharides. And then the third is known as your complex sugars, which is known as polysaccharides, more than 2. Okay, so you got simple sugars, monosaccharides 1, disaccharides 2, and polysaccharides 3, your complex. Now, in addition to these 3 main types, there are other types of carbs as well. In fact, in science, it is said that there are probably hundreds to thousands of other types of carbs that exist in nature. But we typically focus on these 3 main types and a few others. In addition to these 3 main types, there's also fiber. Yes, fiber is a type of carb. We also have oligosaccharides, glycoproteins, glucosides, and so on. My favorite type of carb is fiber, and you're going to hear me talk a lot about fiber on this channel. And it is because even though fiber is a type of carb, the way that it is structured chemically is not broken down in our body. So when you eat fiber, it's not broken down in your body, but this can help you to feel satiated, full, and it actually feeds the good bacteria in your gut. But more on that in another video. So now you understand what sugar is. It's a type of carb, and also the different types of sugars. Later on, we are going to talk about the food industry because things get really interesting over there. They actually have hundreds of different names for sugars, which I'm going to share with you later in this video so that you can be aware of what's in the food you are eating. But for now, let's dive into the purpose of sugar. So sugar has many different purposes, and sugar is important, and so important that, as I mentioned earlier, our body can make it on its own if we're not getting enough. Here are 10 different purposes of sugar and the scientific name for each process. Number one, sugar provides energy to our body. Sugar is our body's main and preferred source of fuel. The process of providing energy to your body is known as cellular respiration. Sugar also helps our body to make energy and work properly. This is called cellular metabolism. Sugar also helps to give our muscles a quick energy boost when we are exercising. This is called anaerobic respiration. Sugar also helps our body to control how much sugar we need. This is known as glycemic control. Sugar also supports healthy functioning of our body cells and tissue. This is known as biochemistry, plays a critical role in our nervous system, so regulating things like anxiety and depression, and this is known as the neurotransmitter synthesis. Sugar helps to build and repair tissues in our body. This is known as protein synthesis. Sugar supports our immune system, so immune function. It also helps with digestion and absorption of nutrients through enzymatic reactions. And finally, sugar helps us to maintain healthy skin and other tissues, and this is known as collagen synthesis. So sugar has many different functions in our body and is definitely important. The thing is, some of us are getting too much and some of us are getting too little. So it's about finding that balance. And later on in this video, we're going to talk about how we can consume carbohydrates in moderation and limit our added sugar intake so that our bodies can thrive. Here are the negative effects of too much sugar, and then we're going to go into the negative effects of too little sugar. And I have some of the main negative effects. Of course, it can cause weight gain, especially around your belly, abdominal weight gain. It can increase your risk for many diseases like type 2 diabetes and heart disease, and even high cholesterol. It can also create or cause tooth decay. It can spike our blood sugar levels, which eventually can lead to a crash in our energy levels and making us feel sluggish and tired or dizzy. It can increase inflammation in our body, and sugar or glucose can actually feed cancer. So there are many negative effects of sugar. But what happens when you are not getting enough? Well, when you're not getting enough, not only will your body go into gluconeogenesis, that's one of the things that could happen, but your body will begin to break down your muscle tissue, which can also decrease your metabolism. Your body will break down your muscle tissues to begin that process of gluconeogenesis in extreme states. So you can actually reduce your muscle mass. You will have muscle loss and weakness. You can also suffer from hypo, which means low. So we have hyperglycemia, which is high, and then hypoglycemia, which is low. You can also have dizziness, confusion, headaches when you're not getting enough sugar. And people who have or are taking diabetes medications to lower their sugar, they have to be even especially careful that their blood sugar levels are not low and that they're eating a well-balanced diet as well, because they also don't want to suffer from low blood sugar. So remember earlier when I talked about the food industry and how some companies can be a little bit sneaky and add in these different sugars into foods? Well, they do this to add flavor, sometimes to add moisture. And unfortunately, it can be hard to detect if there is sugar in something we are eating because there are many different names for sugar. But don't worry, you know I got you. I'm going to give you a little hack that you can use to quickly identify if there is added sugar in the foods you are eating. But first, here are some of the names for the different types of sugars that many food companies put into their food. There is sucrose, glucose, fructose, high fructose corn syrup. That's a popular one. Dextrose, maltose, which is malt, sometimes like in beer and grain drinks. Also, I think malt is in the drink Malta, if I'm not mistaken. There's lactose, cane sugar, beet sugar, brown sugar, confection sugar, turbinado sugar, invert sugar, molasses, honey, agave nectar, maple syrup, rice syrup, barley, malt syrup, and the like. So all of these guys are sugars. They're just different forms and variations of them. So you're probably like, okay, how am I going to remember all of this when I'm going grocery shopping? I have to remember all of these names, and then there's probably names she didn't even mention. Well, here's an easy hack. simply turn around whatever product you are buying and look at the nutrition facts label where it says added sugar. If you see a number there, that simply means that company added sugar to their product. Also, you can see if any word in the ingredients label ends with OSE. Typically, any word that ends in OSE, OS, like fructose, sucrose, lactose, is a sugar. For example, a common product that has added sugar to it are flavored yogurts like this one. I'm not saying that this company or this product is bad. No food is bad or good. No food has moral value, but you want moderation. And we're going to talk about what moderation even looks like when it comes to sugar. But simply just turn around your product, look at where it says added sugar, and if there's a number there, that would mean that that product has added sugar in it. I always try to opt for unflavored yogurt and then just add whatever fruit I want on top. But of course, it's okay to mix things up sometime. This was in my refrigerator because I bought it and I wanted flavored yogurt. It's all about moderation, right? So again, I'm not saying that you should never have a certain type of food unless you are allergic or have, some type of intolerance. That's a different story. But it's all about moderation. But you're probably like, okay, what does moderation even look like when it comes to sugar? I'm glad you asked. The American Diabetes Association says that you should limit your added sugar intake to no more than 6 to 9 teaspoons per day. That's about 24 to 36 grams of added sugar. And this is specifically for people with diabetes. And if you don't have diabetes, you want to limit your added sugar intake to no more than 10% of your total calories. This does require a little bit of math. But for example, if you are supposed to eat 2,000 calories for the day, no more than 10% of those calories should come from added sugar. I just want to mention that these are limitations. They're not telling you to eat added sugar. They're telling you that if you so happen to want to include added sugar in your diet or are eating foods with added sugar in them, this is your limit. So in general, you want to limit your added sugar intake for the best benefits. But if you wanted a number or a certain guideline when it comes to moderation, consider these numbers. Now, I do want to mention that these recommendations are for added sugar. I'm going to say that again. These recommendations are for added sugar. They are not for naturally occurring sugars that can be found in fruits, in vegetables. Yes, there is sugar in vegetables, in beans, in nuts, legumes. These recommendations are not in regards to that. In general, you will see that most doctors will recommend that you limit your added sugar intake and increase your fruit and vegetable intake. So again, these recommendations are for added sugar, sugar that is added to products you consume. Now for the fun part, I'm going to share with you my 14 favorite hacks of all time that I share with every client that can help you to reduce your sugar cravings for good. I'm going to be sharing 14 research-backed hacks, you all, and I'm going to go through it quickly. So if you have any questions about anything that I mentioned, please do not hesitate to leave your questions and comments in the comment section down below. Let's dive right in. Number 1, avoid keeping sugary treats in your home. Out of sight, out of mind. It is easier not to consume something when it's not in your home. Chances are, if you're going out to eat often or grabbing lunch every day for work or eating snacks at the office, you're going to be most likely consuming something with added sugar in it. So control what's in your home. If you're someone who likes to snack a lot, another tip is to keep healthy snacks on hand. It is perfectly okay to snack. In fact, I encourage it. If you are hungry in between breakfast and lunch, have a snack that has fiber, protein, and healthy fats. This trio will help you to balance your blood sugar levels and keep you feeling satiated and full until your next meal. Too often we are consuming snacks that don't have any fiber in them, that don't have any protein in them, and we eat it and 10 minutes later we're still hungry. So include fiber, protein, and fats in your meals and snacks, and keep healthy snacks that have this trio on hand and nearby. On that note, the third tip is to eat FPF meals. What does FPF stand for? Fiber, protein, and fats. If you include fiber, protein, and fats in your meals and in your snacks, you're going to balance your blood sugar levels. You're going to stay full for a longer period of time. You're not going to have those blood sugar spikes that can end up leading to you feeling fatigued or tired or dizzy. So please include FPF in most, if not all, of your meals and snacks. Stay hydrated. Guess what? The signs and symptoms of dehydration are very similar to the signs and symptoms of hunger. Things like having a headache, a migraine, your stomach hurting, all of those are signs that you're not drinking enough water. And all of those are signs that you are hungry as well. So the next time you feel like picking or snacking on something sweet, take a glass of water, drink a glass of water, 8 ounces, right? And that's gonna help you to stay hydrated and also assess if you're dehydrated or actually hungry. Get enough sleep. I can't stress this enough. I came out with a video a couple weeks ago about sleep. So if you're struggling with getting enough sleep, definitely check out that video. I'm going to leave the link for that video in the description box down below. But research repeatedly shows that people who do not get enough sleep, which is 6 hours or less sleep per night, tend to have more cravings for sweet foods. So please try to aim for at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. This is not a recommendation that I came up with. This is recommendations by sleep organizations and by many organizations. They have a consensus that around 7 to 9 is the good number. Guess what? Did you know that a brisk walk has been shown to help you release endorphins in your body that can actually help you to reduce sugar or sweet tooth cravings? I thought this was so fascinating. So you might be wondering, what is a brisk walk? A brisk walk is when you are walking fast enough where you can talk to somebody, but you're not able to sing properly. So if you're trying to, figure out what your pace is, if you're able to speak but not sing, you can count that as a brisk walk. And of course, you can Google on YouTube examples of a brisk walk to see how fast people are walking. But that's generally the rule of thumb. Practice mindful eating. I cannot stress this enough. Too often we see something and now we want it. This happened to me the other day. I was at my kitchen table doing some work on my laptop and I saw a cookie that I had bought from the week before in a wrapper, and I literally said, "Ooh, cookie," opened it and ate it. And instantly I was like, Shannon, you didn't even want this cookie until you saw it. You're not even craving a cookie. You're not even hungry. You literally just saw it and just ate it. And I know many of us can agree that we have done this before. So practice mindful eating. Actually be intentional about eating. On that same note, you want to eat regularly. Eating regularly will help you to balance your blood sugar levels, especially if you're eating fiber, protein, and fat at your meals and snacks. Too often people skip meals, and then when they finally do have a meal, they're eating large portions that spike their blood sugar, and then eventually, because your blood sugar levels spike, it quickly reduces, causing that hypoglycemia. On that note, you want to manage your stress levels. Did you know that when you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, and cortisol is actually linked to feelings of hunger? It actually can make you feel like you want to eat. So reduce your stress levels. I also came out with a video about anxiety and how to reduce it. I'll leave the link for that in the description box down below for you to check it out after this video. We're almost done. 4 more tips. If you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up so that I can know to continue making videos just like this one. And if you want to leave a friendly comment, definitely feel free to do so. I do my best to respond to every positive comment. Next tip is to use spices and herbs. Sugar and salt is there to enhance the flavor that is already in the food you're consuming, to enhance those spices and herbs. Like sometimes people add like lemon juice to their food to bring out even more flavor, like fresh lemon on salmon. So get creative in the kitchen, add some spices to your meals, add some herbs, and then taste it and consider adding in whatever sugar, if you need to your meal. For example, I made a smoothie. It was a strawberry banana smoothie, and I wanted it to be sweeter. And yes, I know I could have added a banana, right? But I already added a banana in it. And so I thought, I'm going to add cinnamon. And I kid you not, you have to try this. You have to try it. I added about a teaspoon of cinnamon to the blender, and it gave such a great sweet flavor and taste to it. You know what? I'm just gonna let you try it, and then you can come back to this video and comment down below if you feel the same when you try it out. But my point here is to add herbs and spices to your meals to add flavor and add sweetness to it. On that same note, you want to avoid artificial sweeteners. Now, there are many names for artificial sweeteners. I'll try to leave them here on the screen for you. You can screenshot this video to keep it on hand. But the reason why you want to avoid artificial sweeteners is because it tricks your brain. When you eat something that has artificial sweetener in it, it's sweet and you think you are eating something that is sweet. So you're not helping your body and your mind in the long run to curb yourself from eating sweet foods. And not only that, many artificial sweeteners have been linked to a whole host of different gut health issues. So just avoid them completely. And on that note, you can try natural sweeteners. So natural sweeteners like monk fruit, stevia, or even muddled fruit. Like I love muddling berries, mixed berries, and then I'll put that on my pancake. So instead of having like 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, I might do 1 tablespoon of maple syrup and then 2 or 3 tablespoons of berries that I just muddled and stewed down on the stove with some water. So try different ones out. There's monk fruit, stevia, mixed berries, and different things will serve different purposes. Like I'm not gonna put muddled mixed berries in my coffee. Just try different things and see what works for you. Remember, a personalized approach to health is the best. The second to last tip is just to chew gum. So if you're not hungry, if you just feel like having something sweet just because you feel like having something sweet, of course you can have something sweet, honor that craving. But if you're someone looking to reduce your sweet tooth craving and not eat sweet foods, I have found that a lot of my clients just want to chew on something, like when they're at work, working on their computer, they have like a fixation. I think there's a term for this, oral fixation or something else, but they just want to chew on something. So they will like pick on food while they're working, even though they're not hungry, even though they're not craving anything. So chewing on gum or even having a mint can be helpful. This can actually kind of provide like a distraction if you're tempted to indulge in something sweet just because of that fixation of having, something in your mouth. And my final tip is to seek professional help. If you are struggling with your eating habits, if you are struggling to reduce your sugar or sweet tooth cravings, to balance your blood sugar levels, balance your cholesterol, balance your blood pressure, the list goes on and on, right? Please do not struggle alone. There are registered dietitians like myself who study this stuff every single day, who support clients every single day to help them live a well-nourished life. So please do not struggle alone. I'm coming out with a 30-day program, 30-day Nourish program, May 2023. And this program is geared towards helping you to improve your metabolic health. Metabolic health is simply the balance of your blood sugar, so your A1C, your cholesterol, blood pressure, and weight. So if this sounds like something that you are interested in, check out the description box down below and sign up for the wait list. There are a ton of people on the wait list right now, but if you're on it, you'll be the first to know when doors open for this 30-day program that I am so excited about. Right before doors open, you'll get an email about what the program entails so that you can make an informed decision on whether or not you want to be a part of it. So please check out the description box down below. You know I had to hook you up with something, and seek out professional help if you're struggling with your sweet tooth cravings. If you were here last week, I uploaded a video about habits and how to create habits that stick. And I asked you, what is one thing that you can take away from that video and apply it to your life and to your week? And by this time next week, I would ask you, how did that go? So leave a comment down below letting me know how that went. For example, if you wanted to exercise, did you lay out your clothes as your trigger every night so that in the morning you can exercise? Let me know how creating healthy habits that stick went for you. And if not, if you didn't watch that video, go back, watch that video, take the tips you learned from this video and see what you can apply to your life. And I'll see you here next week and ask you how things are going. Again, doors open for the 30-day Nourish program May 1st, 2023. So be sure to sign up for the wait list. And if you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below, and share it with a friend if you found it helpful. And above all else, I hope this video helps you to live a well-nourished life. Thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share. Thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share. In that order. Thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share. Thumbs up, all right, that's enough.